Hello again. Like I just said in the last video you watched, you have been learning about the problem-solving steps. So I want to review them with you real quick. And remember, the problem-solving steps are easy to remember because they spell the word step. S-T-E-P. Our first step is to say the problem. The most important part when you say the problem is to say it respectfully and without blame. You can't blame someone else for something when there's a problem. The second step is to think of solutions. All of your solutions need to be safe and responsible. The next step is E, explore consequences. Think, what would happen if you picked a certain solution? Sometimes good things, sometimes not so good things. So you need to explore what might happen if you pick a different solution. The final step is P, pick the best solution. That's when you make your plan for how you're going to solve the problem. All right, so today's lesson is about playing and having fun with friends, something we all like to do. We're going to listen carefully to a song called the Fair Ways to Play song. I want you to listen carefully to the song, listen to the lyrics. I'm going to put them on the screen as well. And when you hear the 3 fair ways to play, I want you to put your hands on your head. Okay, so you're listening really carefully for fair ways to play. I'll give you a hint. There is a poster right here that is a preview of 3 fair ways to play. I'm sure some of you have brothers and sisters at home, and this might be a really good song to remember when you're playing with them. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the Fair Ways to Play song, and I'm going to put the lyrics up on the screen too so that you can follow along.
When we both want the new toy, right at the same time. When we both start to grab it, what can we do? We can share, we can trade, we can take turns with each other. We can share, we can trade, let's take turns with one another now. La 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 la. When we both want the red paint, right at the same time. When we both start to grab it, what can we do? We can share, we can trade, we can take turns with each other. We can share, we can trade, let's take turns with one another now. La 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 la. When we both want the cool bike, right at the same time. When we both start to grab it, what can we do? We can share, we can trade, we can take turns with each other. We can share, we can trade, let's take turns with one another now. La 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 la. If we want to be good friends, have fun together, try the fair ways to play, sing them out loud. We can share, we can trade, we can take turns with each other. We can share, we can trade, let's take turns with one another now. La 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 la. We can share, we can trade, we can take turns with each other. We can share, we can trade, let's take turns with one another now. La 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 la.
All right, so I am hoping that you guys heard the 3 fair ways to play. So now we're going to take a look at this picture. Okay. But before we do that, what are the 3 fair ways to play? I'm going to cover up that poster behind me so you can't see it. The first one is to share. The second one is to trade. And another one is to take turns. Sharing, we all know, means to play together with something. Someone has a turn, then you take a turn maybe, or that's taking turns. But if you both want to play with something, you can play with it together. That's a really good way to do it. The other way that you can is to take turns or to maybe trade. So now we have this poster back here. We can share, we can trade, we can take turns. Now let's look at this photo. Pretend it's rainy day recess. We all remember the days when we had to stay inside for recess, whether it was too cold or the weather was yucky. So we're going to pretend in this picture that it's indoor recess. Jarrell and Julian are excited to play with some of the class building materials. So this is Jarrell and this is Julian. Okay, Jarrell is in the red shirt, Julian's in the blue shirt. Jarrell's table is excused first, and he chooses a bucket of building blocks. Julian's table is excused last. He finds a bag of plastic connecting toys. The connecting toys are cool, but Julian really wants to build a castle, and he needs blocks for that. Jarrell has all of the blocks and is using them all to build a rocket ship. Look at that picture. How does Julian feel? Think of 2 ways Julian might feel right now. Remember, Julian is the one in the blue shirt right here. How do you think he's feeling? Maybe he's feeling disappointed, sad, jealous. If you said any of those things, I want you to give me a thumbs up. Good. How can we tell that those are the things that he's feeling? I can look at his face. I can tell that his eyes are looking right towards the blocks that Jarrell is playing with, and he does not look happy. I can tell he wants to play with those blocks, and he's pretty upset about it. The way that his body is sitting, the way that his face is looking, where his eyes are looking, these are all ways that we can tell that he's not feeling good right now. Julian is uncomfortable, and his feelings are a clue that there's a problem. So if we look at someone and we can tell that they're not themselves, maybe their body is kind of slouched down, their face is looking sad, their eyes are looking at something, we can tell that there's a problem. So we're going to go back to our problem solving poster, and we're going to do the first step, say the problem. What would you say is the problem here? Remember, we need to say it respectfully and without blame. We're not blaming someone. So would I say Jarrell is playing with all of the blocks by himself? No, that is not the respectful way to say it without blame. Could we say Jarrell and Julian both want to use the blocks? Yes, absolutely. That's not blaming someone. Now we're going to talk about the second step. Think of solutions. Think of a safe and respectful way that Julian could make a choice here. What could he do? And keep in mind our fair ways to play. Okay, if you hear something that you thought of, I want you to give a thumbs up. Could he ask Jarrell if he could have a turn later playing with the blocks? Yeah, absolutely. Could he ask Jarrell if he would like to trade the blocks for the connecting toys? Yeah, they could trade. They could take turns. Or could he ask Jarrell if he would like to share the blocks and the connecting toys? Absolutely, and then they both would have more toys to play with. All right, now the third step. E, explore consequences. A consequence, remember, is what could happen if you make a certain choice. So think about, well, if Jarrell has a turn later, maybe, or if Julian has a turn later, maybe Jarrell wouldn't be happy to give up the toy at the end. So that's something negative that might happen. Ooh, if they trade, they would both get a turn playing with both toys. Ooh, or if they play together, they would also get to play with both of the toys. Now think, which solution would you choose? Maybe you've had something like this happen to you while you've been at home. Again, with your brothers or sisters. If you have someone like that at home, or maybe mom or dad or whoever you're staying with, grandma, grandpa, maybe they're playing with something that you want to play with or something you want to turn with. What would you do? All right. In this case, Julian asked Jarrell to share the blocks. He has an idea for building a castle with a launching pad for a rocket ship. Whoa, I didn't even think of that. That sounds awesome, though. The idea includes using both the blocks and the connecting toys. The two boys have even more fun sharing and playing together. Whoa, that's pretty incredible. They decided to work together and play with both of the toys together, and they were able to build a really cool castle with a launching pad for a spaceship. My goodness, that sounds amazing. Now, if Julian wants Jarrell to share the blocks, remember, Julian needs to say, please, will you please share the blocks with me? Or maybe he could say, would you like to play with me and have the connecting toys and the blocks? Okay, so you always have to remember to be polite when you ask for things. Today you learned 3 fair ways to play. What are they? Sharing, trading, taking turns. These fair ways to play help students have fun together. I've got a challenge for you. I want to see how well you can share, trade, and take turns this week. That's what I want all of you guys to work on while you're at home. All right, after this, you will have a quick quiz to complete, and then you will be completed with or finished with another week of work. All right, guys, I will be back next week with more. Remember, you can always send me a message on that check-in form or in Schoology just to say hi or ask questions if you have them. All right, I miss you all and keep up the good work.